Stolen ideas? A rejected appearance in E.T. Is this candy pro-war? Do the dyes give different side effects? Could the blue dye heal you? Is the green dye an aphrodisiac?
They just can't stand the idea that candy isn't political.
Super Bowl commercials.
That's why mine yards will now be filled with chewy, chunky clams.
The candy that leads to peanut allergy discoveries. Hi, I'm Mursha, and today we are going to explore the history and progression of M&Ms to see if they've actually been controversial from the start. This American-based chocolate candy company was founded in 1941 by Forrest Mars Sr. of the Mars Candy Company and Bruce Murray, the son of Hershey executive William Murray.
I remember when they first invented chocolate.
So right off the bat, we know that this is not a ma and pa kind of chocolate company. Okay, these are two corporate Nepo babies starting this new company for this chocolate treat. To add to that, Mars stole the idea from Smarties, a British company, which I never knew had anything to do with chocolate. Originally, M&Ms were sold to the US military as a part of their rations in World War II, and later became available to the public after the war. God bless the troops and the candy that fueled them. These sugar-coated candies were promoted and advertised as a chocolate that won't melt in your hand, something I don't think Kim Kardashian ever picked up on.
They're just warm and gushy on the inside.
You've probably seen some of their holiday commercials, including the American holiday, the Super Bowl, which I don't celebrate. And most notably, you might know them from their rebrand from a couple years ago, where they reintroduced their Spokescandies, which caused a huge commotion among alpha male leaders such as Tucker Carlson, who had a public meltdown on live television.
When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity.
And we'll get into some of that infamous rebrand drama later on, but right now I want to explore these anthropomorphic spokes candy characters that they have. And I just want to say, I hate these kind of characters. They're so disturbing to look at. Animal characters like Tony the Tiger, cute. Humanoid looking frosted mini-wheat, what the fuck? On the official M&M's website, they have Meet the Characters, where you can look at each of the different spokes candies. Because why wouldn't you want to familiarize yourself with a spokes candy for a brand? That's so fun. We have the yellow M&M, who is a peanut M&M, and he is notoriously dim-witted.
Nobody calls me yellow.
We have the orange M&M, who has always been super anxious about being eaten.
Sorry.
I think he's supposed to be some kind of like crunchy M&M flavor. We have the blue M&M, who is also a peanut M&M, who gives off really growy vibes. I don't understand his personality because it's basically just like the red M&M, except he's blue and he's a peanut M&M. Not just a peanut, he's a peanut M&M. There's the red M&M, which you could probably see him on any kind of packaging for M&Ms. You've definitely seen him before. He's in every single commercial there is that exists. One of the interview questions that they have for red M&M is, what is your favorite meme of all time? And he answers, I've been in a lot of memes. It's hard to pick my favorite. If you just do a little detective work here, if you look up red M&M meme on Google, you are clicks away from M&M hentai. I'm not even joking. Don't look it up. So I'm not really sure what the the red M&M is talking about. And I feel like M&Ms themselves don't even know what they're talking about. They're just throwing words around on their website. And then we get into the ladies of the group. So we have the infamous green M&M. You know her, you love her, you've heard all about her. She was formerly known as the sexy boot-wearing, juicy, everyone wants to take a bite of the green M&M. And then they have the brown M&M, who is like sophisticated. She's boss babe, she's girl boss, she's the leader behind the scenes. Instead of red, you know, behind every red M&M is a strong brown M&M. The latest introduction to the Spokescandies is the Purple M&M. She is the first female peanut M&M. Love that. She is classified as a just happy-go-lucky, super supportive, super vibey peanut M&M. And she's a part of the diversity and inclusion efforts put out by M&M. However, she doesn't necessarily identify as anything other than like a peanut M&M. Canonically, she's not queer. She's not a peanut of color. She's literally just a female peanut M&M, which I think is kind of interesting because her whole motto is around like positivity and like telling people that they can be themselves and just be you. Just be you. But it's still like very vague in that messaging, but people hate it still. Like people hate it. And what I find the most interesting about this M&M in particular is that I have never seen a purple M&M in my life other than when I've gone to the official M&M's store, which there are only 2 in the United States. There's one in Vegas, there's one in New York City. That is where they have every color of M&M. So of course there's going to be a purple one there, but I've never seen a bag that includes purple M&Ms in it. Has anyone? Apart from like special editions, like around the holidays, they do Christmas colors, but like I've never just generically seen a purple M&M. So why is she here? So now that we're familiar with our influential Spokescandies, let's take a look at some of the most iconic commercials they've been a part of. The initial Spokescandies were red and yellow, but in 1997, Miss Green debuted, and her reveal commercial is weird.
So, sweetie, you have been busy.
Well, my new movie's opening. And no, Dennis, I don't remove my shell.
Of course not.
There was a rumor in the 70s that the green M&M was an aphrodisiac. And, 20 years later, when M&M's is seeing a decline in sales, they decide to capitalize on this by introducing the sexiest Spokescandy we've ever seen. And this is what boggles my mind with the M&M's controversy of the past couple years, is because people who don't like the rebrand in 2022 will look you dead in the eye and they will say, these are just candies. They don't need to be political. Why are they sending me a message? They're just candy. All they need to do is sell me candy. But they don't bat an eye when the only female character as a part of these silly little Spokescandies, mind you, they're candies. They're Spokescandies. They're anthropomorphic Spokescandies, is the most sexualized character on their whole team. You know what I mean? Like, if they were really meant to sell us chocolate from the get-go, then why did we need to ask Miss Green if she has done in her debut commercial? Huh? I feel crazy having to say this. But there's over-sexualized content of M&M's even outside of Miss Green. There's a 2015 commercial insinuating a threesome with the red M&M.
I thought we agreed to share him.
Which could have evolved into a foursome because at the end of the commercial, it's revealed that the yellow M&M is hiding in the closet. For what reason? We don't know. Maybe he likes being a cuck.
Now he's at the closet. Now he's opening the closet.
But they aired this commercial with the intent of joking about eating in bed. I'm curious who's doing the eating in this bed. I saw where red was. My son. And I hate that I'm calling them by their government names, but I just can't stand saying M&M anymore.
Hi, my name is M&M. Your girl wanted M&M, so I gave her an M&M.
And then there's another commercial of Red singing Meatloaf's I Would Do Anything for Love, where his human girlfriend is repeatedly trying to eat him, put him on desserts, yada yada. It's funny. But then it leads to this weird phenomenon in M&M commercials where the humans continuously lock M&Ms in their cars? Like, what's up with that? Huh? Do people eat M&Ms in their cars? I feel like a better alternative to capturing the M&M Spokescandies would be to put a brown paper bag over their heads, because that would make them think about the packaging that they come in, and they would know that they're going to be eaten that way. Like, I just am confused about where the cars are coming from. And there's so many commercials of cannibalistic references. In fact, the best one features none other than the hottest penguin to date, Danny DeVito. This 2018 Super Bowl commercial faced a bit of controversy, but it's nothing new when it comes to M&Ms. In fact, I feel like including an M&M in this storyline really makes you realize, yeah, this is really f***ing weird. An older commercial shows a couple debating in their living room whether or not the Spokescandies' arms, legs, and feet are edible too. And a later commercial showing the hazelnut spread M&M gives us the answer. I'm just really glad that there's continuity here. Some honorable mentions of commercials include a moaning commercial promoting the peanut butter filled M&Ms. Because, you know, when you eat chocolate and peanut butter, it's just automatic orgasm, right? That's how everyone eats chocolate and peanut butter, right? There is a joke innuendo when they're promoting a freezer treat.
Hey, what happened to my M?
It's called shrinkage.
There's a Shrek collab commercial where the red and yellow M&Ms almost kiss. F***ing cowards. And of course, there's the infamous commercial that aired very recently, introducing us to the new Purple Spokescandy. This music video, titled "I'm Just Going to Be Me," aired on September 27th, 2022, which was 9 months after their initial rebrand that Tucker Carlson had a meltdown over. Okay, so there was already a heap of people that hated the idea of whatever direction M&M's was going. So of course this video was hit with a ton of backlash. And yeah, it could have been because there was all this animosity towards M&M's being woke. But also I feel like a lot of the criticism is kind of warranted here because it's just really not a fun song.
I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be me.
This song is flat. It takes itself way too seriously and is really, really different than any of the other very strange commercials that we visited in this video so far. I mean, it's really like they did a full 180 on their previous commercials and the humor they had in them. And it really feels like they were too afraid to make any kind of joke while promoting this new brand identity. This song is giving, we just made a D&I department and it's comprised of 3 white women kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? This song isn't catchy. It's very awkward. It strays way too much from everything else that they've done as a brand. And I get this because, you know, they're trying to rebrand. That's the point of a rebrand, right? But I think they could have done like a better play on their old commercials. Like if they're really trying to grow from this immature dick joke innuendo humor, then maybe they can implement some of that and use Purple to be super cheeky with some of the other characters' personalities. Even an homage to old commercials in general could have been much more fun than this Broadway style musical piece. Make our new clumsy purple candy drop items like white people in infomercials. Poke fun at a competitor by saying, "You're not you without your purple shell," like Snickers, you know. But instead we got this blanket musical number that no one really asked for, and it really gives like elementary Sesame Street vibes. And the thing is that M&M's has put out successful musical numbers in the past. In fact, in 2016, they did a musical number called Candyman that featured Zed in it. And everyone thinks it's a bop. I mean, it is a bop. It's a fun song. I just feel like this initial rebrand was really unclear throughout the company, but it did seem to shape up a little bit when Maya Rudolph was brought on for the whole Super Bowl spoof thing. And while this isn't the funniest thing in the world to me personally, I can definitely see how they loosened up from their initial rebrand the year prior. But I'm curious about everyone's thoughts on this subject. There are so many questionable M&M commercials that exist, and I'm curious if you guys have any favorites or standouts that you might remember from your childhood. There are so many crazy commercials about Miss Green. There are so many fucking weird commercials about her. I feel so bad for her. Imagine pitying a M&M Spokescandy. That's where I'm at. But let me know, have you ever seen a purple M&M in the wild in a bag? I've never seen one. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.